Richard Speck is one of the most famous mass murderers in American history, responsible for the murder of 8 Chicago nurses in 1966. Speck was born December 6, 1941. His childhood was marked with poverty, instability, and a violent, drunk stepfather. By the age of 12, Speck was drinking heavily at school. By the age of 18, he had a long string of arrests, and over the next several years, he'd be in and out of jail with assaults, burglary, and fraud. In 1962, he was married and had a daughter, but the marriage would subsequently deteriorate due to Speck's drinking and his violent behaviour. By early 1966, he travelled north to Chicago to find work at the docks. He lived transiently near the bars and boarding houses near the National Maritime Union. On the fateful night, July 3rd, 1966, Richard Speck broke into the townhouse used as a dormitory for student nurses at the South Chicago Hospital. He'd go on to hold them hostage for hours, and systematically, he would strangle, slash and stab the 8 nurses one by one. One student nurse who was staying overnight managed to hide under a bed. She would later go on to be a vital witness in the case. Once Speck fled, he left behind a brutal crime scene. The following day, a nationwide manhunt started, and on July 17th, Richard Speck attempted to commit suicide. He checked into the Cook County Hospital under an alias. However, a surgeon recognised him from the paper and the distinctive tattoo he had on his arm, saying "Born to Raise Hell." He was subsequently arrested and stood trial, and he was found guilty of all 8 murders. On April 15, 1967, Speck was sentenced to die in the electric chair. However, in 1972, the US Supreme Court suspended all executions, and this spurred Speck's life. He was subsequently sentenced to more than 400 years in prison. Controversial videos surfaced in 1991 of Richard Speck's prison life. It showed him taking drugs and bragging about sexual intercourse with other inmates. He also had a feminized appearance and appeared to have breasts underneath his top. He remained completely calm, remorseless, and infamously stated, "If they knew how much fun I'd be having, they'd turn me loose." On December 5th, 1991, Richard Speck died of a heart attack. No one ever came forward to claim his body, which appears to be fitting in the end.